Schiff here with this week's episode of Tools, Technology, and Training, sponsored by Shop Dog Marketing. And we've got Dan, Vance, and Allie on here that's going to share weekly tips with y'all. And the first one is social media grows your brand. So tell us
Yeah.
about that, Dan. And because it's like, okay, why does social media matter for auto repair shops in today's digital landscape?
Well, it's a critical piece of your marketing. So just like all marketing is like a pie, and social media is a slice of that pie. It has a very important role. And generally speaking, it's not intended to like have high intent for people to go on Facebook or social media generally to find your number to call you. They're going to do that on Google, but it is a really, really important place for you to be able to build your brand. And one thing I've noticed is, um, like if you were to go on Red Bull's Facebook page right now, what would you see?
Oh my gosh, you'd see motorcycles flying, cars spinning,
Yeah,
all kinds of.
yeah, exactly. What do we see when we go on to an auto shop's Facebook page? And it's because it's hard. Creating that content is hard. But just thinking like, what could I do? What's my goal where I can improve my social media engagement because I'm making it more interesting? And you can think about Red Bull as an option, but there's others too. People love to see people working. They love to see, kind of like the process of people interacting with other people. They want to see what your shop looks like. Those are all like good engagement pieces. But
So when we talk about their brand, a lot of folks haven't realized yet that they are their brand. Their people are their brand. The cars that they
mhm,
work on are their brand.
yeah, it's really kind of surprising. Like if the shop owner was to do something every 2, maybe 3 days, even a little video where they just talk about, hey, it's snowing here today. We've had a couple cars in. It's kind of been interesting that this happened. Or, man, it's 105 out and we still have people coming in for AC services, right? Exactly. And so shops can create engagement that's interesting, but the rule is just kind of like doing something, being consistent, being that consistent voice, not worrying about how I look, how I sound, how my sentences are structured, but just having like a really local, honest verbiage that's going to connect with people, because your customers already know you and they already like and trust you. And we want to use social media as a place where we can reinforce that brand, where they're going to recommend you or they'll see some kind of video that they'll share. And the impact of the algorithm is so big, it's just underutilized. Like it's going to give other people reach. If you do a referral program, like do your drawing on a Facebook Live and give a shout out to the winner and thank everybody that participated and put something in with because they gave a referral to the shop, and really showcase like, hey, it's June and we're sending this guy home with a brand new barbecue so he can have that for Independence Day. Um, those things have really big impact with people that know and love your brand. You want to reinforce your brand, and that's the way to do it. Now, if I don't know your brand, but I see your Facebook and it gives me kind of goosebumps like a Red Bull does, or gives me a connection to you, and I can see that you're taking care of your people, that's meaningful to me. And you can't get that in a Google ad. You can't get that in like a Google Maps listing. That can only happen in social media. That's why you want to do that. I mean, we very easily could tell somebody, hey, we're going to get you started and it's only going to cost you $5 because we're going to buy a calendar and we're going to go through that calendar month by month. We're going to look at events like we have Mother's Day in May. We have stuff going on in June. We have Independence. We've got the hot days of August and getting ready for school in September. There's something every single month. I mean, there could be a donut day. Now, think about that impact if people are getting your news feed in their feed because you're doing regular publishing and you're saying like, hey, bring your car in for service today and go home with a dozen donuts because it's donut day today. How
Oh,
much does that cost a shop to have a dozen donuts? $7,
yeah.
and you're going to get your average repair order out of that. And that's a way you really connect with your local customer, somebody that already knows your brand. I
Oh,
come in for a dozen donuts.
oh my gosh. I'm hearing some tips now. These are not like little, oh, you could think of an idea. You are giving actual tips and
Yeah.
$5 for a calendar.
$5, you make your little investment and then you map it out for the year. And then you work with us and we'll help you put together the posts that are in alignment. We'll highlight events, we'll highlight your referral programs. We'll help you get better engagement by getting those posts seen. But a lot of this creative process starts with the shop. If you leave it to an agency, that takes me back to what I said earlier, like you'll have Red Bull and then you'll have you. And so, but with a little bit of planning and thinking about important events and important days and strategizing with us, we can help you like really map something out and you'll be your own kind of Red Bull for sure.
And
Yeah,
the Red Bull in this area.
exactly. In your area, people will start talking about you. You don't have to be a comedian, but if they're funny, people will remember that. So for sure. If you reinvest in your people, just even a small percentage, you'll notice big returns. And social media is the platform for really doing those kind of fun things.
If you want to work on your brand and get more ideas and pay $5 for a calendar and start
Yes,
looking at what's going on in the coming months, reach out to Dan and Allie and ask about their first month's discount for new clients.
yes, for
As
sure.
always, we appreciate you watching.